It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of parshat Chayay, the power couple. We all know the wondrous things about Rivka, but as Rabbi Amnon Bazak pointed out at Gush, there are really 6 elements, some of which from Bazak, my own ideas, 6 elements that make Rivka particularly unique and really special. And then we'll see how it relates to the other part of this power couple, Yitzchak, as well. The first thing is that she's very much, as Rabbi Zak points out, similar and parallel to Avraham Avinu. Basically what Avraham says is, you want to find a shidduch, a match for Yitzchak? It has to be someone who did what I did. I left my I left my family, my homeland. If someone is willing to do that, then she is worthy of being my descendant, and the shidduch, the match for my amazing son. So in fact, the Lavan and family, they said, well, we can't force a woman to go. We'll have to ask her opinion, which was probably not the style in those days. They were hoping she would say no. And she said, Vatomer elech, she said, I will go. Just very simple. I will go. Lech lecha, Avraham was told to go, leave his homeland, leave his family. She says she's going to go. She leaves her family and her homeland. Rivka is a part of a power couple. Number 2, we all know why Rivka was chosen according to Eliezer, because after all, Gam HaGamali Mishkata, that she not only offered water for him, but also she noticed the camels were thirsty, and she did that as well. She had great alacrity, one might add. All the different elements of what impressed this Eliezer, this servant of Avraham, all those elements of kindness, of hospitality. And of course, this hospitality, this is something that also is Abrahamic, because Avraham, his major feature was that he had an open tent. He ran to greet people. She runs as well. She has alacrity. She does things with alacrity, and she does a lot of hospitality. Gam makom lalun. She says that not only is there what to eat and to drink, there's also a place to stay and to sleep. She understands the Eshel, the idea of achila, shtiya, lina, like the hotel Avraham and Sarah, where you have both something to eat, to drink, and to sleep. This is part of the hospitality that Rivka is part of. Number 3, what's impressive about Rivka is that Hashem yatzah, that it's mamash, it's from Hashem. Avraham says, don't worry about it. Just go to that country, you'll find it. And Eliezer says, go to the country and find the girl. How am I supposed to do that? He says, don't worry about it. You go to my homeland, it won't be a problem. So Avraham knows that God will handpick this person. She'll show up out of nowhere. And sure enough, he lands out exactly at a place where there's just happens to be this girl who just happens to be Avraham's relative. So it's amazing. It's unbelievable. And even family of Rivka say, Hashem yatzah, we can't say yes or no because this comes from God. Of course, they tried to say no, but they affirmed that you can't say no because this is from a word from God after Eliezer described how miraculous it was. So this is also what's impressive about this couple, is that it's made from God for this couple to be together. Also, there's another point which shows the great sensitivity of Rivka. There's a halachic problem we talked about this week in the shul, and that is, we know that generally you should feed your animals first, and then you feed yourself. Come on, Brachos 40a, and Rashi and Chumash, and we know that you feed first you. We say in the Shema that God's going to give grass for our animals, and then you're going to eat. We don't eat until our animals eat. What does she do? She gives him, Eliezer, to drink, and then she also gives to the camels. What's going on? As a matter of fact, he was looking for someone, Eliezer was looking for someone who would say, I'll give you and the camels. She didn't do that. She gave him, and then she gave to the camels. She didn't put them together. And one of these rabbis from Gush says, this is wonderful because this is this is just the way it should be. Don't forget, Eliezer's coming with a complex. He's just a servant. That's true. He's the lead servant. He's the CEO, but nonetheless, he's a servant. And she might be tempted to say, the servant. You can go in the servants' quarters with the camels. You can have some water with the camels. But instead, she treats him like a human being. First, she gives him water, and only then does she give water to the camels. She understands the power dynamics, and she was not going to play into that. She is going to treat him like royalty, like a person, and separate him from the others. So, and also she says, Adoni. She refers to him as a master. And this is also an amazing feature of this Rivka, that she gives honor to this man. He deserves the honor. He looks like an important person. And indeed, although he's a slave, he is worthy of being called Adoni, my master. Finally, we find out the greatness both of Rivka and of Yitzchak particularly as she falls off the camel. Why does she fall off the camel? She sees him, she says, "Hey, who's that guy over there?" And Eliezer, the servant of Abraham, says, "Who Adoni? That's my master. That's Yitzchak. That's the guy that you're gonna marry." She falls off the camel. Now, what does that mean? Dr. Brachi Elitzur, a teacher at the Mechalat Herzog at the Gush Etzion, she says we need to compare this falling off the camel with the daughter of Kalev. Kalev says, "Whoever will destroy Kiryat Sefer, I'll give Achsa as a daughter." So Otniel ben Kenaz, one of the first judges, he conquered the city, and he was able to marry Achsa. But he asked her, "Would you please go to your father and ask him for some water?" So she falls off the camel. She jumps off the camel, and Kalev says, "What can I do for you?" And he says, I really need the water." So Dr. Elitzur says, let's think about that. Here are two women who are in arid areas. When you come from Mesopotamia and you go through Jordan and you go to Hebron, you're in an area that's not that lush, like where perhaps Mesopotamia, the Fertile Crescent, where she comes from. So she's wondering what's going to be, and also the Achsa is inheriting in Hebron, and she says, "This is not a place to live, Hebron here." So I need the water. So she is so impressed, she's so overwhelmed with Kalev. He's the one who has the power, he's the mayor. Maybe he can give her some water. So too over here. Rivka comes from the Fertile Crescent. She comes down there, and it's going through the road, says Dr. Elitzur, and she sees it's not the most fertile place in the world. Israel, depends on the rain and God's blessing. So she says, I need to marry someone very capable to manage the water down around here. And all of a sudden, she sees someone who's amazing. He's strong. He's a man, Ish Sadeh. He's a man of the field. We know that Yitzchak is in the fields. One interpretation, of course, in the Gemara, that he's praying, but also he's checking out the field. He's a man of the field. We know he loves field because he says to Esav, it's really Yaakov, he says to him, "Wow, your smell is like the smell of the field. I love a good field. When I was younger, I just loved going out in the field. It was amazing." So Yitzchak's a man of the field, and he planted a lot, and he was the only forefather who was a farmer. He planted, and he was very successful in his planting. So when she sees him, she sees in him a rugged farmer. I know it's not the image we usually have of Yitzchak, Nebuch, but this is Dr. Elitzur suggesting that no, he was a rugged man, like eventually his son Esav would be. And she's so impressed with this. Wow, this is great. He's a man of the field. He's going to be able to take care of me, even though I was getting a little depressed as I saw the landscape here. But this is going to be great because this is a man who indeed is obviously very capable. And she, in deference to this man of power, who's going to be good in the field, she falls off the camel, as Achsa, the daughter of Kalev, also comes off the camel in deference to to a man who's got the water, who's got the goods for her there in the Negev. So I say it's a power couple in that Rivka has all these amazing features that we know, and also because of Yitzchak, because Yitzchak is an amazing man of the field. And however, we know that there's another interpretation, and that's Rav Amnon Wazak. He says, wait a second, why does she fall off the camel? I'll tell you. We know that Rivka has these incredible qualities that we just outlined. She's kind. She believes in God. She's just absolutely amazing. And in all her life, she never really met anybody who shared her values. She was surrounded by Lavan types, Betuel types. Betuel, a man who was manipulating. Lavan, a man who's a trickster. A man who speaks with a beautiful tongue, but actually he's tricking everyone in the process. So finally, she meets this man, and he's been raised by Avraham, who really is her type. Avraham and Rivka are just the same. And she sees him just looking at him. She can tell this is a man of God. Maybe he is coming from praying in the field. He has a halo about him. He has a radiance to him that she knows this is an incredible man. So why is it a power couple? Because Rivka, she's willing to leave her family for this great family of Avraham. She does kindness. She is sensitive to Eliezer and his standing. And why is Yitzchak part of the power couple? Because he not only is a great farmer, not only is he a man of the field that's so impressive that he makes her feel like, wow, this is going to be a good shidduch, this is going to be a good husband, this is going to be a steady income, everything's going to be great. But also, he has this tremendous spirituality, so much so that it's like awesome. You can't even take it. It's just overwhelming to see this man. But she knows that spirituality. It's the very spirituality she possesses, and she's ready for it. She's excited about it, and she falls off the camel in great excitement of this great spiritual man. Yitzchak is the ultimate Torah umada, Torah im derech eretz. He's a man of the field and the man of God. As they say in Bnei Akiva, Rashenu be'imkei Torata, our heads are in the depths of the Torah, and Kapenu b'rigvei mata, and our hands are in the clumps of dirt. That's Yitzchak. Yitzchak is an amazing farmer. Yitzchak has an amazing spiritual personality. And this power couple, woman who's inspired, who's kind, man who's both a man of the field and a man of God. So when they came together, this is truly a power couple. This gives us great hope for the Jewish people. They can not only be spiritual, but also part of this world. And not only part of this world, not only plant the land, but also great spiritual personalities. And with this, the Jewish people are off to a great start. The first real power couple after Avraham and Sarah, Rivka and Yitzchak. Thank you for joining us here at the Baron Hirsch Congregation for a discussion of the parsha and the various holidays. Thanks to Jason Lefkowitz, our producer. And if you like it, please like the video and share with others. We're always looking for sponsors as well. We appreciate it. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.